Hello and welcome back to Pokemon Ruby Randomizer Nuzlocke. Last time we found out that berry people who hand out berries do not hand out Master Balls. And I think in the video before we found out that Master Balls do not grow on trees. In this video we're going to catch another Pokemon because we, in our infinite wisdom, decided not to catch one before we headed into Petalburg Woods. Because now we can use this patch of grass behind the Whalmer Pale's shop to get something better, something higher leveled. Now being all random, it doesn't really matter that much because I don't know what I'll get either way, so I have no knowledge that this patch of grass is better than the previous patch of grass, but just being higher level puts the odds in our favor. So what we're going to do is we're going to catch something here, but first I guess there's items to take. Shell Bell's actually really nice, I guess. Is that the finished item or is that shoal? No, that's shoal shells and shoal salts, I think. That's the components. I don't actually know what a Shell Bell does. A hold item that restores HP upon striking the foe. That seems very, very useful. We'll give it to Kaioken as he's our primary damage dealer. So that's actually a really, really good pick. And a protein's also a really good pick, I guess. If nothing else, it's worth a lot of money. And this one is a Thuse Bell, which is not something I know what it does. So a lot of items in those patches. A whole item that calms the spirits and fosters friendship. That's useful if we get return early. So I guess what I'm gonna do is... No, we don't care. It comes up fast enough. If we get return and we can give it to Kaioken, then I'll put the Sooth Bell on him. Well, let's see what we can catch here first. Is it going to be a Rayquaza? Nope, it's actually a Grova. Wow! I need to catch this. This is really good. Double edge that. Oof! Oof! Ouch. Spore that shit. Grova is actually my starter. It's I first started as a Trico because the person that actually got me into Pokemon, he started with a Sceptile as well. So I chose the Trico to match his Pokemon. So this is actually my old nostalgic starter. I do want this. I want this. I want it. We're even gonna toss the Pokeball, not the Great Ball, because my old starter was in a Pokeball, because you can never get your starters in anything else. Nice! And it knows Fire Blast for some reason. Is Grass type special? Yes, Grass type is special, so it's even got a matching move. It's got Fire Blast, which is a special attack on a special attacker. Nice! Now I'm gonna name this one after the guy that got me into Pokemon, so his name is... We're gonna use his in-game tag. We're gonna call him Skyd 5000. I did type that right? Let's take a look at his stats. Damp prevents self-destruction. Does that mean self-destruct doesn't kill you? It leaves you with 1 HP? Does that mean it does? I don't think it means enemy can't self-destruct. If it does mean enemies can't self-destruct, then this will be a very, very good addition to our team. I think I'll look that up on the Bulbapedias after this game, but it's holding a Luxury Ball, so it basically refunded what we used to catch it with, which is nice, I guess. Although Luxury Ball in itself is a very useless item. What does it have? It has Calm Mind, Twister, it's got Luster First, nice! Psychic Attack, and Fire Blast, so it's got a really nice move pool on top of matching its own stats. It's a very fast Pokemon, so I don't actually know how to think about, you know, fast Pokemon, because if you over level, you end up over speeding anyways, so it's not that important. But on the other hand, some Pokemon are born fast, so being those Pokemon, you'll be able to beat them more easily, even if you're not over leveled. Like, you'll be able to outspeed them. You'll be able to outspeed a speedy Pokemon if you are yourself a speedy Pokemon. If you're not a speedy Pokemon, then even if you're over-leveled, sometimes your speed will be lower. So, in that sense, having speed is always nice, but Grovyle, in my experiences when I first played him, very, very reliable Pokemon. So I'm very happy that we picked that up. Okay, now let's take a look at the map. I think the next one is Route 116, so there's 114, 115. We'll just do a little bit of scouting. Now, another thing that I plan to do when I initially... I think we're going to run into Devon Researcher again, right? No? Okay. Now, one of the things that I planned out initially was when I want to sort of get these other Pokemon. These optional Pokemon. So that's Route 115. There's no patch of grass up there, so we can't pick up anything yet. This is 116, so we'll be able to pick something up there. The two important places that we can get Pokemon at is this patch over here, which I think it doesn't overlap with the Fallibur patch. And there's also Dewford Town and Petalburg City. Those are the places where you can fish. And fishing is very important for a Nuzlocke, I would say, because it gives you a choice on when you want an additional Pokemon. If you fish early with a bad rod, like an old rod or something, then the things you fish up will be low level. So you want those if your team is missing something. But I think our team has got pretty good coverage between Bigger Green, Skydie 5000, and Kaioken. So those will be pretty worthless for us. We probably won't be using Old Rod to get something. Old Rod tends to fish things up that are underleveled anyways, so that's not something that's useful to us. The other option is to go for Super Rod in late game. That'll get you something that you don't have to grind up, but on the other hand, you won't be able to benefit from an additional Pokemon until way later. In this game, you'll get your Super Rod all the way in Moss Deep City, and by that point, I feel like our team will be already established. But enough of that, we can actually catch another Pokemon right now. Bigger Green, our capture Pokemon, is up front, which is good. We'll see what we find in this patch of grass. And we find a Mightyena. Ah, this thing is nice, I guess. What do we want to do? We're level 8 to level 6. Now, the Grovyle tanked Double Edge pretty well, so I think what we'll do is no questions no questions right now. First up, Spore, which will put it to sleep. Worst thing that can happen, we'll trade 1 turn for 1 turn and 1 PP on sleep, but that doesn't really matter. Next up, Double Edge. This thing should survive Double Edge. Puts it in the yellow, which I guess is a good point to start throwing balls. And let's take a look at that. 8 balls. We should be able to get this 1 try, 2 tries. Mightyena is final form evolution, so it might have lower catch rates, but yep, we got it in first try. Mightyena is not a Pokemon that I'm familiar with. I never used it initially because I never found a need for it, but Magma people do use it, and I think the first one that I ever ran into gave my Grovyle some trouble, so this could potentially be a good Pokemon. I think it might be a good attacker, but I'm not sure. Again, I don't have experiences using this thing. What are we going to call you? I want to call you Husky Starcraft. How do we make that fit? I think we can make it fit like this. That's probably the best I can do. Okay, so we already have a full team. Now, what we're going to finish this video off with is we're going to take a look at the new movesets, and we'll see if this Mightyena that we caught is a good addition to our team. I think initially when I first played over here, I had a Tailo and I had a Trico. That was it. There was nothing else I caught. Surprisingly, being a Randomizer Nuzlocke, actually makes me have more Pokemon. So let's take a look at summary. You have 13 special attack and 17 attack, so probably a good physical attacker, which we're not really short on. No, wait, actually Skydee 5000 is a special attacker. You got Earthquake? Really? What type are you? Are you pure dark, or are you... Yeah, you're pure dark. The Earthquake on an attacker is great. So Roar is not really useful. Belly Drum maximizes attack while sacrificing HP. I think this cuts your HP in half. So this is not a useful move in a base game, especially in Nuzlocke, because it cuts your HP in half, setting you up to be killed in one hit. But Earthquake is definitely a good one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna swap him out. Okay, move. We're gonna swap out. Let's swap out Lord Uglyface for him. And we're going to... Can we name this? Jump, wallpaper, name. No, not E. Back. We're gonna call this Dieded, because this will be our box for anything that dies. I don't want to release anything in Dieded, or I don't want to release anything that's unfortunate enough to die. I'll probably just keep them around as a collection of things that died. But yeah, so now we got a pretty good team. What I'll do now is I'll figure out what to do with them in the next video. I think that's actually probably... Husky Starcraft is probably more useful than Fox, right? What are we dealing with in terms of stats? So that's level 6, Skydee 5000 is level 5. Attack summary. Special attack 14 and attack 17. So this will be very useful for Earthquake. And I think that's about it, because Vice Grip is okay, I guess. But with Earthquake, I don't see why you would use it. It's a 55 standard move. This is useless and that's useless. So while the move pool is not efficient, since there's half of them is useless, the good ones are pretty good. And by the good ones, I mean the good one. Stats also pretty decent. The thing I want to figure out next, which I'll figure out off camera, is who I want to level up, because in the coming gym battle, I think I want level 14, or probably level 14 or 15 Skeptile, or a Trico when I initially went in, and that was type effective, so I'll probably need 2 level 15s to finish this one. But first let's grab our Quick Claw, which might not be a Quick Claw here. It might be something else. Hey, we actually get Quick Claw. Now, is that just a text saying it's Quick Claw, or is it actually Quick Claw? It actually is Quick Claw. The randomizer isn't randomizing. What the hell?